Hello world, welcome to the 43rd Climate Change Emergency Awareness Rally in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania,
Woohoo!
USA. Yeah, hey, that's Tanya. It's October 4th, 2019. And say hello to Tanya.
Climate change strike. Party of two.
Party of two, that's what we're going to have. There are college kids 3 blocks away, but you wouldn't know it. So hopefully someday they'll wake up and realize their lives are in danger and they need to get out and do their protest themselves. So the next rally will be on the 11th of October at 11 a.m. at the Gettysburg Square. We got some good news today. Hopefully you're hanging in here and listening. Gettysburg High School evidently are going to have some kids out here at 1 o'clock on the square and doing their own protest. So Tanya and I are going to come back in for that one as well. And the other good news was last week, New Oxford Schools, which is about 8 miles east of here, had their own rally of high school kids, and there were about 20 girls and 1 boy turned out, and that was an hour-long rally at the square in New Oxford. So some of the high school kids are getting it. They need to talk to their parents and explain to them the dire situation we're in. The college kids are absolutely not getting it at all. They should be in the streets every day, all the time, because their lives are going to be directly affected, and they're spending $250,000 on a 4-year degree that possibly they'll never get to use outside of 8 years from now. With climate change, there is no halfway point, or doing things halfway. Either you're all in or you're not, because if you don't get all the way into this thing and get the situation solved, it's a lost cause for the most part. The only thing you're doing is half measures, and you won't succeed, and basically we're on the road to extinction if we don't get this thing taken under control. I figure we have till 2026, and that'll be it, meaning that we only have till 2026 before all hell breaks loose. We don't have 12. Hey, Holly, we don't have 12 years to get to this thing like a lot of the politicians are saying. That's kicking the can down the road and means, oh, we don't have to do it right away. That is not the case. We're 20 years beyond where we should have started doing something severe, and so we're 20 years behind the issue right now. Last week we had a heat wave here in Gettysburg. Was it last week or a couple days ago?
Yeah, 94.
Yeah, it's 94 degrees here in Gettysburg, which is 33.3 degrees Celsius. That's, of course, a new record for Gettysburg and the southeast and the mid-Atlantic region. What's happening with these records is that we keep getting these newer and newer heat wave records, and eventually what will happen is they'll become life-threatening, and that you won't be able to survive it, and the crops will fail. The crops are teetering on the edge already here, and it rained yesterday, which might have saved the situation. We're in danger of having a severe wildfire situation in the area, like on the edge of California type thing, because it was so dry. But the rain came and put some moisture in the soil, and next week it's going to rain some more. So hopefully things will mellow out for now, but it doesn't get us off the hook. These type of things will continue more and more and become more severe, whether they're heat waves or downpours. The atmosphere holds more water now, so it holds due to water vapor and the heat. So what you'll have is giant deluges of water, and the result of that is the farmers' fields get flooded and then the crops get killed. And if you don't eat, you can't survive. That's just a basic rule. So in the national news here in the United States, you have Jay Inslee dropped out, of course, last month or a month and a half ago out of the race for president. He is the only one that was really talking about climate change. Bernie Sanders, who is the old guy, and he just had 2 stents put in his arteries, whatever, because he was having heart issues, and he's pushing 80 years old, and so he was the only one that's really on board with climate change. The other ones are opposers. And my guess is once these 2 drop out, if Bernie drops out, then there'll be no one left, and they'll go on to other issues, and climate change will take a back burner, and that's our death sentence. That's game over for the United States. The United States will drag down the whole world. If these people don't start getting on board soon, like right now, we're in big trouble. And I don't mean just presidential issue either. You need your local politicians to get on board to start implementing ideas. People that are in control of counties and states need to start taking aggressive action as far as getting involved in climate change and putting in environmental things such as solar panels, windmills, whatever we need to do. Try to eliminate cars and traffic and whatnot. Make it uncomfortable for people traveling in their cars and start getting mass transit in earnest. If people don't like driving in their cars because they're sitting in lines because roads are restricted, then things will change. If you quit building new roads, things will change. If people will take mass transit rather than sit in traffic for 3 hours. So the media is culpable in what's happening. They're not reporting the actual truth of what's happening. They don't know or don't want to say what the dire situation is. I've had encounters with a local meteorologist over in Lancaster. I wrote emails to him, and he said he didn't want to get involved in the climate change debate. Now, this is 3 years ago. He, since then, has not uttered the word climate change at all, even though he keeps talking about the records and everything. All he cares about is golf or mowing his lawn. And these type of people need to get out of the media business. Whether it's the anchor person or a meteorologist or whoever, this needs to be stem to stern. We need a total systemic change in our way of thinking, in our way of acting, and our transportation system, our political system. Everything needs to go down and be retooled. We can do it. We are Americans and we know how. But right now there's no push. When there is the push that comes along, it'll be way too late. So supposedly we're smart, but we're not forward thinking at all. We're going to stay with this system, what's going on here with all these cars and everything, and not do a darn thing about it. So again, you need to get politicians that are becoming experts in climate change and involved in nature and are in tune with that rather than in tune with capitalism and endless growth. Because we're on a finite planet, we're running out of resources, and we're running out of time. So that's it for my tirade on that. So we're looking forward to 1 p.m. here on the square with Gettysburg High School kids. Hopefully they'll turn out. And congratulations, New Oxford kids, for turning out last week. I hope you start doing it weekly, and that that's what's needed is continual pressure, not just one time. Talk to your parents if any kids are listening and really put pressure on them. And if parents, if you're listening, you really need to wake up and get on board and save your kids' lives, and as well as your own. But your kids have no chance after 10 years. You might as well just hang it up. So we need to really get on this thing like we're in a terrible World War situation. There goes Fox 43. Hey, you're on Facebook? Of course, they won't stop and ask what we're doing, and because they don't give two rats' asses about it. Fox 43 is the local, basically Republican talking point station. God forbid they stop and actually say anything. So we'll hopefully be maybe live again with the Gettysburg High School Kids Rally at 1 o'clock. See you later. So say bye, Tanya.
Bye.